So, do vitamins really work? Well, I'm enhancing your erections today. I'm going to discuss how folic acid works. It has been researched and could be useful in improving erections. If you're new here, let me introduce myself. I'm a board-certified urologist who creates videos on a variety of urologic disorders, including erectile dysfunction problems, which is the subject of this particular video today. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. That video is good, since it surely makes it easier for folks to find my channel. Why folic acid then? Isn't that precisely what we need? Why do guys act in such a way? Advantages of folic acid, then. Actually, it contributes to nitric oxide generation. Nitric oxide is essentially where the erection cascade begins. It functions similarly to the ignition, so that there was no harm to your erection. Recently, a study that included several distinct studies and looked at them was published. Information on folic acid and erectile dysfunction in general. Prior to the publication of this, it wasn't apparent if folic acid offered any advantages. Some studies claimed it conducted some research. I said that it didn't, so I'll investigate the data and learn more. Several distinct demographics or patients who were recruited for the study were examined for this investigation. One involved comparing the amount of folic acid in the serum or blood between patients with normal or healthy erections with folic acid and those with erectile dysfunction. To determine if there was a difference, this was done. The remaining halves of the study compared the results for males who took folic acid using a validated questionnaire, and those who didn't. What is a validated survey? Actually, patients are given a survey in this situation. It has been validated to correspond with the severity of a problem after being researched in a wide range of patients. Simply put, if someone responds to this quiz, you'll receive a score, and that score will educate you. How severe is their erectile dysfunction, do you know? Thus, when they examined all of the various studies on folic acid, erectile dysfunction was the key factor. 9 studies. One of those 6 studies examined the serum folic acid levels in a number of healthy men and found that they had an excess of 850 and 982 men with erectile dysfunction, respectively. When they integrated all the data, they found that men with erectile dysfunction had serum folic acid levels that were 0.94 nanograms per milliliter lower. And that actually went up quite a bit. Age makes their erectile dysfunction worse. It keeps getting worse. In 2 investigations, the erectile dysfunction of the patient before folic acid treatment was compared to after receiving daily folic acid for 3 months, and in those studies, a 0.4 mg or 0.5 mg dose. Every day, they receive a dose of folic acid. We had roughly 140 patients in all. They discovered that the severity of erectile dysfunction had been significantly reduced. They noticed, for instance, that people can go from having serious erection issues. There was a noticeable difference in the strength and quality of their erections in the case of mild to severe erectile dysfunction, and the last thing they looked at was males with diabetes. They each received 10 mg of tadalafil, sometimes known as Cialis, a medication that is frequently prescribed for erectile dysfunction. The following day, they split these. There are 2 patient groups. Each group received a placebo, sugar pill, whereas one group received 5 mg of folic acid daily. 5 mg is a lot. Larger than the typical folic acid dose given to patients. The first thing to be aware of is that they particularly picked men with diabetes. Because diabetic guys are more likely to do it. They're less likely to acquire an erection strong enough for sexual activity or one that is sufficient for penetrating intercourse because of erectile dysfunction drugs worsening of the condition. They wanted to determine whether adding folic acid would actually have an impact with simply tablets alone. What changed, and what did they discover? They observed that men's scores for the quality of their erection function increased noticeably more than women's did. According to this validated questionnaire, compared to those who didn't receive the folic acid, was associated with an improvement in erectile function. This was a larger amount of folic acid, as I previously said, but they were out. No one in the state dropped out due to the dosage of folic acid, despite its risky side effects. Mild headaches, lower back pain, and flushing were among the adverse effects. What should you remember about this, then? Should you begin folic acid supplementation for erectile dysfunction? So, the verdict is yet out. What dosage should you take, and for what purpose? How long will the benefit persist? To endure? I am unable to state with certainty at this time. Take folic acid vitamins, of course. Please make important to speak with your primary care physician if you decide to take folic acid, because there are certain drugs shouldn't be taken with folic acid in particular. Many seizure medications, as well as a wide range of other drugs. However, you might think about consuming foods that have more folate. Legumes like spinach are included in this. Broccoli. A few fruits, like melons and bananas. The use of yeast to ferment orange and tomato juice. Some mushrooms and certain meats, like beef. The kidney and liver. Since they are all quite high in folate, I will definitely include them in my diet if I like the meals. The diet. And that can be the main factor assisting with erectile function. Maintain your health and that of your family. Be sure to maintain an active lifestyle and reduce your weight, as these things will. Without a doubt, this will help you keep your erections. I am ready to help when you need me, and I am strong. Remember to look after them as usual. For you, since you are deserving of it.